Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. I want to say thank you guys so much for being here. My goodness, this chat is active before I've even come in. Good morning. Let's see here. Good morning, Lane. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Jan. Good morning, Susan. Good morning, Josiah. Been a little while since I've seen you, Josiah. Good morning. Let's see here. Good morning, Shauna. Wonderful to see you guys all here today. Thanks so much for being here on the wake up call. It is Wednesday, but getting to be about the middle of the week. And man, I don't know about you, but my week has been shaping up pretty awesomely. I hope that yours has too. We are here to say some good stuff about us. I'm gonna pull a card off the top of my deck. I'm gonna ask you if you are the affirmation on the card, and we're gonna respond out loud together. I am that affirmation. As we do this, we are building into ourselves. We are changing up our own reality, changing up our own experience, and ultimately giving ourselves the ammunition that we need in order to survive in this world today. So let's have some fun. Let's pull a card off the top of the deck and say that today I am adaptable. I am adaptable. I adjust easily to new situations. So I am adaptable. I adjust easily to new situations. Are you adaptable? You are adaptable. You adjust easily to new situations. I'm going to write that down in the comments. I encourage you guys to do the same thing. I write down that I am adaptable. I adjust easily to new situations. This is an oddly fitting card for today because on the back end, the wake up call is getting started a little later today because I was like trying to get myself logged in. My software had updated and it had just kicked me out or logged me out of everything. And so I'm over here on the back end working on getting myself logged in on my big computer. But as I was doing it, I was talking to Pepper, and she was like, "Hey, do you think that you're going to, do you think that you're going to have to use my computer to do this?" I'm like, if I have to use your computer, I will. And so, but in the end, I was able to get everything done, and so I am adaptable. I adjusted easily to new situations. Fact is that we had a plan B in case I couldn't get logged in on my main computer where I usually do the wake up call. But I am adaptable. You are adaptable too, and as we go through our lives, then then we have to adapt to whatever it is the new thing is that's coming, and there's always something new coming. I mean, life is always serving us up something new. There's always something serving us something novel, serving up something that we haven't experienced before, even if we've done the same thing over and over and over again. We are nevertheless, we are nevertheless adaptable. We are nevertheless capable of adjusting. So life serves us up something new every day, and then we adjust to that something new. And then, Pepper's over there laughing. I just wonder what y'all are saying in my comments. Please keep being awesome. But yeah, life is always serving us up something new, and so our, the best way that we can possibly handle life is to adjust easily to whatever it is that life is serving up to us. I don't know about you, but I always have unexpected stuff happening, and the more that I'm able to adapt easily and to adjust easily, then the easier it is for me to adjust to these new situations, whatever they may be, and the better solutions that I come up with. I remember when I was younger that when something new would happen, I would be really, really unhappy about it. In fact, I remember so my parents would oftentimes surprise the kids with like places that we were going, something that we were going to do, and of course, I'm sure it's wonderful to be surprised as I'm sure it's a wonderful parenting thing to do. I'm sure that I will learn a lot about parenting as I become a parent myself. But I do remember quite distinctly that I was always angry about it when my parents would spring something on me, even if it was something that was good. And I remember, so, for example, like one weekend, I was very much looking forward to hanging out for the weekend. My parents, of course, my parents had the idea that they were going to take the kids over to Niagara Falls up in New York, and to go see Niagara Falls. And so I remember that we were going to basically go take this day trip. Niagara Falls was maybe 3-4 hours away, but I remember distinctly that that even though I was happy about going and seeing Niagara Falls, I was also really mad about the fact that my weekend was shot. I was really mad about the fact that my plans were changing, and I took that anger with me all the way through that trip to Niagara Falls, and I couldn't really thoroughly enjoy it. Even though my parents intended for me to enjoy it, I was having problems enjoying it because my plans had changed, and I wasn't able to mentally adapt to it. Of course, I'm definitely a lot more adaptable now as an adult, and I mean, hey, life will make you adaptable. But at the time, as a child, even though something good was happening to me, I still wasn't happy about it. And I distinctly remember that I used to live that way. And this is just one example of many where I would have rather stayed home because staying home meant that things changed, stayed the same. But going on this cool trip and doing this cool thing, and kind of being forced to because I was a kid, and staying home when my parents had planned a Niagara Falls trip was not an option. Uh, but I remember that my life started to get a heck of a lot better when when I was when I started to be more adaptable to the changes that were coming my way. And so I am adaptable. I adjust easily to new situations. Something that I found very valuable in my life is the improv technique of yes and. So, if you've ever done improv or if you've ever seen improv, yes and is a technique where we just agree with whatever it is that the last person says and then add something else. So, if somebody says, "Hey, the sky is green," you'd say, "Yes, the sky is green and the clouds are pink." And then they would say, "Yes, and these pink clouds taste like cotton candy." You're like, "Yes, and the cotton candy that they taste like, is actually broccoli flavored. It's very strange." And of course, improv can turn into some pretty surreal stuff pretty fast. But it works in life quite well. And when something happens to us in life, we say yes, and so yes, this just happened, and okay, fine, I'm going to adapt to it, whether I liked it or not. It just happened, and I'm not going to disagree with reality, and I'm going to make this change, or and I'm going to look at it this way, or and I'm going to have this particular feeling about it. And when we can adapt to that, it gives us a tremendous ability to be able to set ourselves up for future success, no matter what is going on. And so I am adaptable today. You're adaptable as well. We adjust easily to new situations. Now, I'm very curious. I mean, so Pepper is clearly going for some kind of staple foods theme this week. Although I don't 100% understand the beans. So Pepper, tell me about the bean card.
You have no idea how hard it was for me to resist not just telling you all about the baked bean aspect.
Oh yes, Pepper has a baked bean aspect story.
So the beans are beans are the most versatile, adaptive food on the planet. You can use beans in a chili if you so choose. That's a whole nother argument that can start there. Your beans versus no beans. You can eat them as is. You can refry them. You can do so many things with this simple legume, and therefore adaptable.
And therefore adaptable.
And
Well,
the baked bean aspect was the horrifying monstrosity that I fear if I mention it on a live stream, it will do the same thing it did in 2020, which is doom the entire continent of North America.
I understand. Anyways, I mean, everybody knows beans do go in chili. Fight me. But thank you so much, Pepper. Yeah, in fact, so I've actually, I've lived in parts of the world where beans are the staple food. Where beans are literally with every single meal, and I could totally see that. I could see how beans are very adaptable to yeah, beans are very adaptable to all manner of different types of food. So thank you, Pepper. But anyway, so I am adaptable today. You are adaptable as well, and we adjust easily to new situations. So I'm very curious about what you guys were all giggling about. So I'm going to scroll up in the comments and see what you guys had to say. So once again, thank you guys so much for being here. Good morning to Lane. Good morning to Dan. Good morning to Jan. Good morning to Susan. Let's see. Good morning to Josiah and Shauna. Let's see. Jan says, I could always use a good moan and just saying, oh, Jan. Oh, Jan. Don't you know there are children present on this show? They're still in the womb, but they're present. Let's see here. Yeah, Jan says, often my adjustment is to leave. That is actually a really good, that's a really good situation. Sometimes we do leave situations that don't work very well. We're like, oh, this is happening and I don't like it. Well, bye. That's a rational way of looking at things. Dan says, adjustment is a bit harder when older, though, not as flexible as before. And I can understand that, Dan. We kind of get set in our ways. I think that as we get older, we figure out what works, or at least what works for us, and we would like to continue doing whatever it is that works for us because it works. And how we do get a little bit less inclined to change or adapt, because just because of the inertia of having done something in life for longer, and the longer that we do it, and the more often that it works, the less likely we are to change it because it works. And I totally understand that, and I think that it can be a bit of a trap because we get the idea that just because something has worked a dozen times in the past, that it will continue to work in the future. But of course, the future is nothing like the past, and this now moment is nothing like all the moments that preceded it. And so I completely understand it can be very difficult to overcome that inertia. I think the way that it's always worked well for me when I've made the same decision and I'm starting to get different results is that I start to reconsider. I'm like, okay, well, what's changed? The situation might be changed, or the situation might be a similar situation to the one that I've gotten results with in the past. But perhaps the underlying conditions are changed. Perhaps what I've been treating with my response was the symptoms and not the root cause. And so, when that happens, it allows me to kind of just, rethink or reconsider my responses to whatever it is that's going on. So let's see. Oh, Pepper's over there. She's over there looking mischievous. Let's see what she's trying to adapt me into. Let's see here. Josiah said, "This has so been my life lately." Well, this is a
on the story of the baked bean ass.
Oh lordy. Okay, Pepper, you can pull that baked bean aspect picture down now. Okay, so Pepper made a baked bean aspic. And there's Bush's baked beans in a Jello mold because, So
the baked bean aspic was something that was created at the very beginning of 2020. And I had just discovered, and I chose to bring that up because it's beans.
Right. They're good for your heart.
I had gotten a beautiful, beautiful vintage copper Jello mold, much in the way I just got one yesterday. So I hope you know what you're in for.
Oh, boy.
And I decided I was going to try something new. And so I went to the grocery store. I got a can of... Yeah, it was pretty bad, Shan. I got a can of, I think it was barbecue Bush's baked beans, a packet of Knox gelatin, and that was it. I was like, I don't need any other flavor in this. This is going to be fantastic. I love beans. And so I went home, and the only ingredients in that were a can of beans, like I think a couple cups of water, and the Knox gelatin. Because I was like, I am adaptable. I am going to attempt to try something new. And so I made it. And I made another Jello mold alongside it. That was beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, jiggled, shone, and everything. This one, you went to smack it, and it just kind of went like little, just kind of like that. It had the consistency of ballistic gel, the taste of, like somebody just wafted a baked bean somewhere in like a mile away from it. And it was so terrible, not even the dog would eat it.
You've made an abomination unto the Lord when even an animal sniffs it. It's like, you know what, I'll pass.
Mm-hmm. And then right afterwards, not even like just a couple days afterwards, the entire state of Virginia just totally shut down.
Yeah.
And I still maintain it was due to that baked bean aspect.
Had nothing to do with coronavirus. Everything to do with that aspect. So anyway, so she's not allowed. House rule, no more baked bean aspects in my house. Thank you, Pepper, for the baked bean aspect story. Oh, Lord. And for making my day a little bit more surreal, because I was talking and then all of a sudden, boom, baked bean aspect, right where my face used to be on a live stream. Sweet. It's gonna be like the highest rated live stream of all time. They're like, we like you, Paul, but baked bean aspect is freaking cool. Oh wow.
Let me know if you want the recipe.
You just gave them the recipe. It's Bush's baked beans and water and fear and loathing.
Don't forget the gelatin.
And gelatin. Yeah, and in a copper mold. I'm hiding the copper mold. I did just buy her a copper mold yesterday. Oh boy. Okay, so Susan says, I have to adapt to my situation often here. Breakfast, massage, ocean, pool, lobster, cruise. Tough life. Yeah, it really is. It really is, Susan. I sincerely hope that you can somehow overcome it. I will help you to overcome it. Just by by trading places with you. Okay, you can do the wake up call, and I will do the lobster cruise. Let's see here. Good morning, Tony. Wonderful to see that you are here today. Jan says, I love having the options to flow and adjust. And Tony says, I adjust easily new situations. I love the challenge. And that kind of... Jan, oh, Lordy, please don't make another baked bean aspect. We will have nuclear war. We already had pandemic. Let's see here. Yeah, no more bake. Just quit your shenanigating, guys. Quit the shenanigans. There's better shenanigans to be had. My birthday's on the 9th. Other shenanigans can be done, but not that one. All right, guys.
Adapting.
Oh yeah, we are adapting to the idea that now there's two people on this planet who want to make a baked bean aspect for some reason. y'all can try it yourselves. We can all have a party where we watch you eat the baked bean aspect and we order pizza. But anyways, guys, I am adaptable today. You are adaptable as well. Life is gonna throw some interesting stuff at us today, as it indeed did on this wake up call. And as it does, let's just remember that we can adjust to it. That we can make that we can that we can make different choices than we made beforehand, and end up with different results. Oh, and candles, baked bean aspect and candles. You have make a romantic time with it, Jan. Perhaps you could use a good moaning, and it's like inspired by a baked bean aspect, and just really smacking that ass. Bick.
Oh!
Smack that aspect. Has a consistency of ballistic gelatin, sort of like gluteus medius, I guess.
It was dense.
It was dense, she says, yes. Anyways, guys, well, thank you so much for being here. This has been a very wonderful wake-up call. Y'all rock. I will talk to you tomorrow at 9 a.m. We'll come back with another one of these. Until then, I love you. I appreciate you. I think that you're awesome. Oh, gosh, not for my birthday.
I can make that happen, Jan.
You're going to serve me up a beautiful birthday cake, and I'm going to be like, wow, it's so amazing. I'm going to cut into it, and it'll be a baked bean aspect with frosting on top. I'm like, no!
I was thinking about just having it openly be a baked bean aspect. Now you've given me ideas.
Oh, boy. Yeah, she was just going to make me a baked bean aspect that didn't have any, pretense at all. Just had a candle on the top. Like, happy 42 years. I'm like, my God, why?
We don't have baked beans. We do have kidney beans, though.
Oh, kidney bean aspect. Oh boy. All right. Well, y'all ladies shenanigate. I will talk to you. I will talk to you tomorrow at 9 a.m. I love you. I care about you. I think that you're awesome. Thanks for sharing a whole bunch of laughs with me today.
I love you, Jan.
Until then, aloha from paradise.